Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. It's Monday morning, and I just wanted to come on and have a conversation about things that have been happening in the mainstream media right now and around the world. And I'm challenging you guys today to use your discernment to see what is happening out there. And it's very easy to get caught, and the enemy likes to use our emotion against us. And as soon as we get emotionally charged over a subject, the line between right and wrong, good and evil, sometimes tends to get blurry. And I want to speak about a certain situation, and that is the protests / riots that are going on in the world right now for George Floyd. I saw a video today that was sent to me from Candace Owens, and I don't know much about her. I know she's a politician. I'm not even 100% sure what side she's on. I think she's a Republican, but correct me if I'm wrong. Or either way, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And she was talking about how she wasn't going to lift up George Floyd as a martyr, because she goes in on all these statistics and goes into his rap sheet and about being a career criminal and all this kind of stuff. And I really got a true sense of what was happening here, you guys. And again, we always look at things from the spiritual. Always look at the situation as what it is, and that is, there's a war. There's a spiritual war going on, you guys. It's easy to let emotion get you back into the world again and thinking only on the surface of what it actually is, and that being racism. But at the end of the day, you guys, there's no such thing as race. Race is a tool used by the enemy since the beginning of time for the same purpose as every other agenda, and that is to divide and conquer. And you at this point should have the eyes to see, the discernment to understand that this is what it's about. It's not about race. Because skin color does not matter. It's the spirit that is inside of that vessel is what we need to use our discernment on, and to understand what is happening with that person. Because at the end of the day, it is all about a decision that we decide to make, whether we want to choose to listen to our Father or we choose to listen to the enemy. And whatever way we decide to listen will affect our actions. Plain and simple. Now, our enemy has had thousands of years to study us and to understand how we work as a whole. And I'm talking about the average. And so knowing that, he thinks that he's several steps ahead of us by knowing what agendas to throw at us in order for us to get a reaction. Now, when you have spiritual discernment, when you are of the Father, you are able to understand and see these agendas at work and truly be able to look at them for what they actually are. And that is with the sole purpose of having us hurt each other, kill each other, and the bottom line is to be evil. Do you think our enemy honestly cares whether we fight amongst ourselves about race? Do you think he even cares about race? He doesn't even care if you acknowledge him or like him or hate him. He doesn't care. All he cares about is that we are the furthest point away from our Father that we can be. And hatred is that point, you guys. So although it is easy to look back at your history and to see that, yes, I've been persecuted, we've all been persecuted. White, black, brown, doesn't matter. The color doesn't matter. We are all the same race. We are the human race. And the human race, the Father's children, have been persecuted since the garden. So this whole racism ploy is exactly what it is, and is a ploy. It is a tool. It is a military tactic used by our enemy to divide us, and then when has us in groups, then he can attack those little groups. Together we are strong, you guys. In little factions, by ourselves, we are weak. With faith through our Father, no weapon formed against us. That means any weapon, whether it be from the enemy and however many different ways that he has, will do nothing to us, you guys. It's the fear and hatred that we feed into is what gives the enemy his power. He has no power over us, no authority over us until we grant him that authority. So I encourage all of you, don't give into this one way or another, but understand it for what it is, and that is a tactic designed specifically to have us pitted against one another. And if you look at all these things that have transpired right from the beginning here, they're all calculated steps to pull us further away from each other. Because again, together we are strong, and that is by sharing the truth, by sharing knowledge, loving one another, right down to the coverings of our faces, so we can't even see ourselves smile at each other anymore, you guys. So understand and take it for what it is, and what it is another step closer towards their agenda. But again, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Because when you have full and utter faith in our Father, it doesn't matter what the agenda is next. Whether it's a fake alien invasion, whatever the next outlandish thing that could possibly happen, it won't matter to us. We won't be caught off guard, because at the end of the day, when you have faith, you're ready. So be ready right now. Be ready today, because tomorrow is going to have a whole different set of problems that we'll be ready for when it happens again. So if you're feeling right now where, one way or another when it comes to this side, there's a lot of things at stake here. It's an election year. It is coming to 2021, where this is a part of the playbook. Our enemy knows his time is short, so he is rolling out his last set of plays, you guys. So what we need to do is to continue to share this information with a fellow brother and sister. And I'm not talking about the agenda of hate or racism or any of that kind of stuff. Because either way, it doesn't matter how you look at it, it's still promoting hate one way or another. There's no side to what's happening on the news right now that does not promote hate to one another. When you've got children out there chanting under the guise of this is the right thing, that this is because of all these tough years that we've had. We've all had tough years, you guys, and I'm talking about all of us, every human being, persecuted forever, because that's what our enemy wants for us, is to just drag us through it this whole way through. But we've got the ultimate answer to that, and that is the grace and the love of our Father and of our Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. So the enemy can do whatever he wants, however he wants to do it. It's his only job. Don't let it affect you in any way. Don't spread it. Don't share it. Don't get involved in a conversation. If you find yourself in a situation where you've got a loved one that wants to bring it up with you, expose it for what it truly is, and that is hate. And I'm not saying racially charged or motivated hate. I'm talking about as a people, as a unit of human beings that are on the planet. This is the purpose, to get us fighting with each other. Because what happens when we're sitting in an agenda that I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for right now. Ultimately, what's happening right now, there is something else that they're planning behind the scenes, is what I'm trying to say. Always. It's a distraction. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word distraction, but it's all a distraction. Because they are constantly, look at this hand, and then in the other hand, what they're actually trying to do is being done. Now, we all have discernment, you guys. I know we understand what the main goal is, but it's very important to work backwards from that goal, because then all these things that are happening day to day start to make a lot of sense. Now, they will always roll out an agenda that will progress the general masses forward. They're not taking us into consideration, nor do they care at this point, because they know that if we get wrapped up with all of this chaos that's going on, some of us will falter, because we do have an emotional attachment to whatever the agenda is going to be. So therefore, there's going to be a wide, broad assortment of different things that are going to be thrown at us to try and get us to crack one by one. But don't give in, you guys. This is where we need to stand strong in our faith, knowing that, again, no weapon formed against us will ever prosper. That's the word of our Father, you guys. He'll protect us through this whole thing. So I hope you're having all an amazing day. I imagine some of you maybe are getting, a little emotionally attached to what's going on out there. I just want you to know that that's the plan. That's the purpose of it. We are of our Father, you guys. And the only white that I am worried about is my robe when it's all said and done. I just want my robe to be white when I meet our Savior and our Father, so that He may look at me and find me worthy. So again, you guys, anything that has hate associated with it on any side, at any point, is of the enemy, plain and simple. And when you get emotionally attached to any of it, he's got you. So take a step back, you guys. Use the beautiful eyes of discernment that our Father's given you. Start looking at the situation for what it actually is, and that is to divide and conquer us. And use that so that you may educate your fellow brother and sister, so that they may understand the greater spiritual battle that's happening outside of what we can see in front of our faces. So again, I pray you're all having a blessed day. I pray you got something from this. I hope this gives you a little more nudge of encouragement and motivation to just continue to do the right thing. And that's not to give in to this madness. Because again, as our Savior said, this is the beginning of sorrows, you guys. The beginning. And this is all with purpose. All of this isn't to torture us. It is to prepare us. And if you look at how methodical our Father is, He just slowly, every step of the way, inches it up a level, inches it up a level, inches it up a level. And I'm not saying He's creating this, but the lessons that He's constantly allowing us to go through is so that our spirits get used to the madness that is ensuing around us, so that we don't get lost when the big wave comes. we'll be standing there with arms open going, let's do it. So I love you guys. Father willing, I will do another one of these. And I pray that your day continues to be perfect. Take care, you guys. Bye.